Hope you're ready to live in a world where Michigan's back in the college football playoff. Because let's be real, last year's offense was obviously painful to watch. No explosiveness, rhythm, deep shots, yet somehow they were a little pesky to end the year. But this year, things are lining up for Michigan not just to bounce back, but to crash the college football playoff once again. I want to talk about why the Wolverines will be in the college football playoff this upcoming year. And it starts off with the schedule that sets up quite beautifully. They get Ohio State at home to end the year. And that's always the measuring stick for this program. And they've had the Buckeyes on their heels lately. And they get that in the Big House. That's a massive edge to end the year. A win could put them in the playoff. Mainly because they also play 5 of the bottom 6 teams in the Big Ten: Wisconsin, Michigan State, Purdue, Northwestern, and Maryland. 5 teams that are arguably in that 18-team conference near the bottom. Those 5 games, they're going to be pretty heavy favorites in. But the real test that I'm looking at this year is road trips. You got one going to Nebraska, you got one at USC, and then you got a home tilt versus Washington. Those 3 games will determine their college football playoff status. If they can go 2-1, 3-0 in those, which is absolutely realistic, that gets them knocking on the playoff door. And we haven't even mentioned a marquee non-conference game at Oklahoma. And a win there is a statement made in what might be a CFP elimination game in week 2 as we look back at it. But overall, we have to address the elephant in the room. They lost a lot on defense. They lost Mason Graham. They lost Will Johnson, 2 first-rounders, but the defense is still going to be a problem. They return a few key guys up front that I like: Derek Moore, TJ Guy, dudes that can get after the quarterback. And the tackle room might be the deepest in the country as far as their 2 deep and further is concerned. They add a Trey Williams from Clemson, a Damon Payne from Bama, and to add to that depth, they bring back both linebackers. They have a lot of communication and consistency up front in this group. And the biggest question on a defense that's normally fantastic is going to be the secondary. But I actually think there's a lot to like for this group. Yes, it's young, but it's talented. They've recruited at a top 10 level for the past few years. So this is starting to be more of a reload rather than rebuild for a Michigan group. It's next man up. And so even if this defense is 80% of what it was, 90%, that's still playoff caliber in a lot of ways. But the biggest reason for optimism is that the offense can't get any worse. I mean, 129th nationally, no pass plays over 40 yards for the entire season. That's almost impressive in the worst kind of way. But this year, they've actually got some firepower, and I think they're going to be able to stretch the field a little bit more vertically. They bring in Chip Lindsay to call plays. He takes over. He comes from North Carolina, where he's aired it out in the past. I'm curious to see what he ends up doing with Bryce Underwood, but Michigan's going to be able to push the ball a little bit more vertically. But overall, as far as a system is concerned, they're still going to be a ground and pound group. At quarterback, Bryce Underwood is the future, but it's not just his job right now. He's still battling it out with Mikey Keene. It's going to be his job at the end of the day, Bryce's, but Mikey Keene's been around the block. He's steady. He gives Michigan a good quarterback floor if the Underwood thing doesn't work out. But I really like he's going to challenge him a little bit more. Speaking of the verticality, they bring Donovan McCulley out wide as a weapon from Indiana. He's a true wide receiver 1 type, and that ground and pound identity of Justice Haynes coming in from Bama. He's going to be a feature back. He adds some SEC juice to the run game. I like what Michigan has on offense this year. And so even if they're middle of the pack, this is still a playoff caliber group. They don't need to be an Oregon. They just need to be a competent group on offense. They're average, they're playoff ready. This is a team at the end of the day, though, that is built for November football. The defense, the toughness, the trench play. Because this year, they've got the added bonus of upside. The recruiting's there. The dudes are there. The depth is there. The schedule is completely there. Last year, they finished strong. This year, if the offense is even remotely solid, this is for sure a playoff group because the schedule sets up nicely. Let me know in the comments what percentage chance you would give Michigan to make the college football playoff next year, and I'll see you next time.